I burned my marriage. I didn't just cheat on my wife, but I cheated my kids out of having their father in the home. I remember the day that she confronted me. She had this idea, this belief, maybe even some evidence that I was seeing another woman. And when she confronted me, I wanted to run. I wanted to hide. I wanted to lie. In fact, at first I did lie. I lied for a long time. And every day I felt the pain of shame and guilt of living in that lie. And I could see in her eyes the pain of mistrust, broken dreams, broken heart, because of the actions that I chose. You see, during the roaring 2000s, I was a successful business guy. Real estate development, shopping centers, apartment buildings, condominiums, giant, amazing homes on the cliff sides of Los Angeles. I spent that decade building monuments to myself, building my ego, building what I thought were my dreams. And when the economy began to unravel in 2008 and my business began to crumble, I realized that all of my self-worth and all of my self-esteem was all tied up in my success, in the business that I had built, in the financial achievements that I had made, in the monuments to myself that I had created. And so as my business began to crumble, it was then that I recognized that that's all I had. That's all who I was. I was a one-dimensional man, singularly focused on building my business, singularly focused on building my career. And when that was gone, I had no dimensions left, but a giant, gaping hole in my heart. So I filled that hole with alcohol and with women, with a woman who would appreciate me because she didn't know that I was failing everywhere else in my life. She didn't know the real me. She didn't know that I had a hole in my heart. And so going to her made me feel more like a man. But the truth was, I was a man with zero dimensions, broken, hurting, in pain. One day I met a man who challenged me to go from being a one-dimensional man into building a four-dimensional man, becoming physically free, spiritually free, emotionally free, and financially free. And he challenged me and said, when you begin to build this man that you want to create, you'll begin to love yourself unconditionally. You'll begin to fill that hole in your heart, the pain, the shame, and the guilt. You'll be able to fill that hole with unconditional love as you become free in your body, the first dimension, being your second dimension, in your balance, the third dimension, and in your bank account, the fourth dimension. Now, I'm here to tell you today that I am not a perfect man, but I am better today than I was yesterday. And I'll become a better man tomorrow than I am today because I'm committed to walking this path. I'm committed to this journey of building the four-dimensional man that I've designed for myself. Over the next weeks and months, or however long it takes, as long as my voice can impact one other man, I'm here to share my journey, my path, the strategies, the struggles, and the pain that I face along this path to becoming this four-dimensional man that I'm talking about. I'm going to share with you what it takes to build a better body. And I'll talk about how I went from becoming a mixed martial arts fighter to battling with being a 41-year-old man with a dad bod. I'm going to talk about how to live with purpose, on purpose. How I grew up in a church that I felt was restrictive, regulated, traditions and rules, and how I completely rebelled against those things and discovered a personal connection with my Creator. Connection, so I could live with purpose, on purpose. I'm going to talk about how I've invested emotionally, invested into the emotional bank accounts of the people around me that I care about, specifically my children and my ex-wife. The steps that I've taken to become a better dad and to be the best ex-husband I could possibly be. I'm going to talk about how I changed my business from being a real estate developer in Los Angeles, California, building monuments to myself, all from ego, and changing my whole strategy into getting financially free through passive income, investing in apartment buildings that are safe and secure and stable no matter what the economy does. I'm going to share with you how you can do these things too. Over the next weeks and months, I'm going to share with you what it means to build a four-dimensional man and how you can do it too. How you can get physically free, spiritually free, emotionally free, and financially free. I'm going to share with you my journey and everything that goes into it so that hopefully you can avoid the mistakes that I've made in my life. My name is Matt Skinner. This is Building a Four-Dimensional Man.